Hello everybody, I hope you're doing good. Um, so what I'm going to show you today is how to, this is an experiment, okay? I have been working on this to do it just with polymer clay, but I didn't get to a good result as of yet. And I'm going to do it as with polymer clay and UV resin. What I'm looking here is for examples for in case you don't know how they look. The fire agate is a little bit different than others. So let me get back to see if anybody is here. My dash doesn't seem to be working very good. Let me make sure that it's actually, oh, so it is working. Hi Anna, because normally it shows me who's on and who's not. But I guess this time it's not showing me. Actually, let me make sure it does show on the channel. But yeah, I get this. It is showing. So we are good. Hi Lynn. It still doesn't show me in analytics, but I guess this is a fluke or something. So what I'm going to use this. Hi Elaine, thank you for making it. Hi Janine. I did do this. Let me see. Oops. I did show how to make matrix texture sheets in a tutorial that I'm going to share with you right now. So this is the tutorial on how to make this exact matrix, and let me run it a little bit. It's practically all you need is a ball stylus, or even, you know, the ends of painting brushes. But anyway, this is how you do it. It's very easy to make, and I personally prefer to make it out of either bake and bend or cos clay, because they are bending, so it's much easier to use them. This one that I have is also various degrees. So let's look a little bit at images just to give you an idea. Let me make sure that I am, yes, I am on. The fire agate, I don't know. I normally say agate, but I heard people saying agate, so I don't know how to call it. Has this awesome, personally, in polymer clay, I am trying to do mica shift in a specific way. But we are going to do a regular fire agate using these. I have several types of materials I'm going to use. As you can see, these bubbles can be of various sizes. There's a excellent 3D effect on them, but I'm not going to use the 3D effect. I'm going to use just plain 3D and with UV on top of it. Now, the materials I'm going to use, and you can find these in my Amazon influencer store, and some of them you can find them on Polyclay Play. And please don't forget to use my my code, my affiliate code. Let me give you both. So my influencer store is this. I'm linking in the live chat. And my Polyclay Play affiliate is this. But when it comes to Polyclay Play, I can tell you I'm not sure if Trish has started accepting orders and shipping yet, because I don't know, I need to talk to her. I know that when Beryl went through Houston, she wasn't there. She was visiting somewhere else with family. And in the email we had at the time, she told me that she wasn't going to go back until the power comes back, because her power was off. Okay, so this one is the black diamond. Be very careful, because the black diamonds, they have these beautiful ghost polymer clays, mica powders that are like the interference powders in Pearlex, only that they are much finer. They might not be as strong, and unfortunately, I do not have the green in my Pearlex collection, so there's that. But I will use the duo yellow-green in the Pearlex line. Then I will be using the green gold in Lumiere powders. I don't know, I have some issues talking today, it seems. And the green and teal also in the Lumiere lines. And then I'm going to use the green brocade that's in the Transparency Interference Art Alchemy line. And then I am going to use, honestly, I don't have a lot of expectations from this, but I'm going to still use it. And this one is color shift, it's Dragon Flash. So we are going to see how each of these work in creating that special effect. And I'm also going to use burnt umber acrylic. So let me get all my stuff out of here. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same cut. This is one of the smaller things that I got from that Czech store. But you can use absolutely any cutter you want. I thought that this just looks pretty cool, and it would be nice to try. So I need 6 of these. Now, if you have a bigger thing like this, a bigger texture, you can go ahead and apply the texture first. I do not. This is the size that I made. So this is what I'm going to have to work with. The weather was, I wanted to say out of this because I don't get it. The weather was so weird this year here in Oklahoma that, and actually I didn't notice until this morning, just because I looked not right across the street from me, but like across the street and to the right, and I was admiring a neighbor's crepe myrtle. I was trying to see, they have a Cherokee pink, and it's beautiful. And I have what used to be a red one, but for some reason the flowers have discolored to fuchsia pink. Anyway, and then I realized that mine, because I have two, I have this one that the flowers have discolored, and then I have Queen Anne's lace, and I realized that they weren't in bloom. I'm like, okay, that's not normal. And I went and I checked, and the Queen Anne's lace has the little nubbins, the little buds, but the other one, nada, absolutely nada. So I don't know what has happened. Why? Because normally by the 4th of July they're in bloom. Hi, Darla. So I'm going to put some Armor All before I do anything here, and of course I'm going to have to cut again, but so this we obtain those bubbles that can be seen. Hi, Sharon. Well, it's fairly early where you are, because you're like 2 hours behind. But better late than never, huh? Okay, let me switch these so I can work on them too. It's a little difficult to keep everything under the camera, so people can still see what's going on here. Alrighty, so again, some Armor All. And yes, I could have done this before putting them on the mirrors, but it would have required too much room here. And the last one. Okay. Now, I'm done with this part. The next part, if you notice, those cabochons showed a darker area that didn't really seem to have a lot of effect. And if you want to see videos of fire agates, I cannot show you that on YouTube because that would be, I don't want to get in trouble with anybody. So just search fire agate cabochons on YouTube if you want to see how they look when they move. And unfortunately, I don't have any myself because they are quite expensive, to be very honest. I do have a lot of other stones, but not this one. unfortunately. Okay, so I'm going to apply, make sure that I do have a paper towel handy. I'm going to apply some of this burnt umber. And I want it to go in all the nooks and crannies between these bubbles. So, as you can see, I'm holding the brush upright so that the hairs of the brush go in between all those. And oops, I dropped some. It's funny how you can see how my left hand has less strength than my right hand by how the texture didn't really do a good job on the left hand side of my little pendants. Let's turn this. So another one. And again, lift all the extra. And one more. I'm going to have tomorrow morning to soak my garden. And I don't know how the weather is where you are, but I mean, I know Sharon told me, we talked yesterday, and she told me that they have rain in Alaska, which I am supremely jealous. Here in Oklahoma, we started experiencing what we call the donut hole, because it seems like when you look at the forecasts, you see all kinds of stuff going on in and around central Oklahoma, but central Oklahoma is like the hole in a donut. Nothing happens, ever. Okay, so normally you kind of have to wait until this. And if you want to bake it first, you're fine, but I put this somewhere where I wouldn't double it. There we go. Okay, so which of them should I get? Let me get this one first, just to get it out of the way. Remember, with a color shift, you always want to shake it and mix it really good. And I need another paper towel. And like you've seen me doing in many of my other tutorials, this has to be applied like when you do a patina. You have to do a dry paint rub. What does that mean? That means that you get some, and I don't know, you can try to do it with tools and stuff, but I wouldn't recommend. Even if normally there are tools, I just like to get my hands dirty. Normally you can use other tools, but I don't think that it is a good idea in this specific project to use something else, not your finger. Okay, so what does the dry rub mean? You grab some paint on your finger and then you wipe your finger so that you get very little, see, just a little coating on your skin. So let's do this one. So that you only leave a small amount of paint, very thin. Whenever it's about putting paint on polymer clay, this is something that please keep in mind, no matter what you're doing. No matter if you use cheapo acrylics or if you use Genesis paints. Those are very expensive paints. That's what I mean. Never use the paint to the point that you leave the proper color on the polymer clay when you first do it. You need to do washes. And what is washes? That's a very, very, very diluted paint. And this dry rub is pretty much the same as using washes. So by what I can see, it's not that terrific, but we'll see how it looks like when the UV resin is applied on it. So I'm going to keep doing until I get an acceptable level of green. And so this should work. Now, acceptable level means that you can see that there's some green there. And another tip for you, if you get acrylic on your hands, best thing is to use alcohol to remove it. And another thing that is excellent to remove any type of pigments that you might get on your skin when working with polymer clay. I've seen some people recommend hand cream, which makes the pigment kind of sort of disappear, but it does so by diluting it. And think about this, why do we use hand cream and how does it work? It works by penetrating the skin. So if you use hand cream to remove a pigment off your skin, what you're doing is making sure that it penetrates your skin. So no, never do that. A very good solution for removing any kind of stuff from your hands is lava soap. So I always have lava soap near my whatever I use, hand soap, liquid soap, whatever. And please pardon the peeling of my skin, but I think I mentioned before, I have what's called dyshydrotic eczema. That is, I get some bubbles under the skin that dry out and then my skin peels. And it is triggered by stress. I haven't had it, it started when I was young, when I was in my early 20s. And I didn't have any, it kind of disappeared when I was in my late 30s. And this is the first time it appeared again pretty much when we had, it got really bad when we had that storm that knocked out the power in my area. So yeah, that was not a nice thing to go through. This might be a little bit too bright, but let's see. Okay, next I'm going to use, so this is green and teal. Okay, I want to turn it. They have such a weird way of labeling these tiny little things. So this is supposed to be also an interference. Might have the mica powder, the powder itself, be a little bit too big. The grains of it, I mean. So this would be the green and teal. Close it, and I'm going to switch the top ones with the bottom ones, so it would be easier for me to work on them. But this is pretty much how I, when I do any faux gemstones, this is pretty much how I work. I would do many experiments. Okay, so warm gold to green gold. Not sure how well this is going to work. Oh, I never opened it. Hold on a second. Some stuff I got in the set because it was cheaper per piece to do so. But yeah, as I was saying, it's a ton of experimentation. Yeah, I definitely am not very happy with this Lumiere thing because it has, the grain is a little bit too big. I might make some changes to the whole thing, and we'll see here in a minute how. Alrighty, now the duo green yellow. And even if it doesn't look a lot like a fire agate, we'll still have something nice. Okay, and the last one is the green brocade. Wax. It started drying on me a little bit. The problem with the green brocade wax would be that you kind of need to bake first before applying the UV resin, because you cannot buff it when the clay is not you know what, I think I'm going to grab the other green, the regular green, not the transparent one. Just a second, let me clean my hands. And I'll bring the whole thing so you can see. In my Amazon influencer store, I have a lot of organizers, and each of them are good for something. And let me show you what I use. For my art alchemy waxes, you'll find this in the influencer store. It's 3 compartments, a little tray. And I could use them in sparkle or the lucky emerald. So I have basically the metals here, and then the other pretty colors here. There is a reason behind all this madness. So just to make sure, I'm going to put like half of it with mint sparkle. Hi Wanda. And then we'll be able to figure out which of them is the best. That is the mint sparkle. They're actually a little bit darker than what you see on the screen. Again, remember that I'm using a pretty harsh light for making videos. Oh, this one is really dry. I need to buy some of that wax warmer. Let me give it a little cleanup. Yes, unfortunately, wax is dry. If you don't use them for a long time, they have the tendency to dry up. But I'm trying to remember, because recently, you know how everybody loves the smell of these art alchemy waxes, and I know I encountered it on something recently, but I'm trying to remember on what. Okay, so yeah, I think the mint sparkle is the one. Alrighty, now let me get at least the waxes out of the way. Oh, come on. Can't close it properly. And also the reason why some of my wax is dry, because I don't, with having issues with my hands, I cannot close them right. Alright, let me get at least these out of the way. Okay, so I am going to get my light a little bit more on the warm side and a little bit darker. So going in this was the ghost satin, but again we'll see how everything looks once we put the gold, just regular gold. This was the teal and green of Lumiere. This was the gold and green gold of Lumiere. This was the duo gold green of Perlex, and this was the wax. So I'm going to gently start resining them. And I don't know how I slept last night, but I woke up with a horrible back pain, lower back pain. I think that what happened, because I don't know if you do the same, but I'm sure that people with cats will know exactly what I'm talking about. When you've had pets sleeping in bed with you for a long time, you are aware of them even when you're asleep. So if they come to cuddle with you, you know you're not going to roll over them. Yeah, I forgot to cut these things again, but oh well, we'll get to where we need to get to. So I'm doing all of these to see exactly what and how it works. And then I'll do a final one. With things that I learned from that. Okay, so anyway, as I was saying, when you have pets coming in bed with you at night, you know instinctively in your sleep, and don't roll over them, but what happens unfortunately is that you're going to sleep you won't be able to turn. That was a Finnegan here. You won't be able to turn, and that can make you wake up quite stiff. So I'm not saying that that's what happened, but I'm 90% sure that that's what happened. Anyway, the result is that I woke up with a very sore lower back. Righty. It doesn't look like much yet, does it? But we will get there. I don't know, people who are friends with me on Facebook have seen, because I posted about that. Finally, Finnegan did shut up. He has a collapsible tunnel, okay? And it is, let me see, it's pretty neat. And it works really good, but he doesn't always play with it. And after I deploy it, he's going to play with it for a while, and then he just forgets about it. And come on, last droplets, please. Now remember that even if there is something that might not look okay before you apply the resin, it's going to look completely different after you apply the resin. So anyway, I had his tunnel deployed, and he didn't play with it in almost a week. So this morning I collapsed it and I stuck it behind one of their cat trees. As a result, I mean, when he saw me collapsing it, he started wailing and crying and throwing tantrums. He did that for pretty much 3 hours. He can be a real pain. Oh, come on. Hold on a second. Here we go. Okay. And don't worry, I do remember what is on what, so that's not a problem. Okay, time to grab the other bottle. Yeah, I got an inquiry from somebody because you've seen me using all kinds of brands of Chinese UV resin. I got asked by somebody if there is a difference between them and if some of them are more suitable for this technique of applying the resin before baking the clay, and if it does or does not, depending on the brand, if it does get in any way messed up. And I will be very honest with you, I didn't find yet any difference between them. So my honest opinion, hi Mona, my honest opinion is that they all have the same supplier. They are just repackaging under different labels and with different colors. So, oh come on, come out already. But I do have pieces that I've made. I still have a few that I made like 2 years ago. And they still look fine. So, thank you, Mona. It's kind of my normal state. It's just there are days when it's worse. And I'm used to it, and I know it will never get better. Because that is what degenerative diseases do. They never get better, unfortunately. But I learned to live with it. You know, it's nobody's fault. Except my genes. Not my Levi's, my genetical makeup. Yeah, don't worry, it's not that big of a deal. It's just gold clay using, and then I used one of my matrix homemade textures, and I linked to that specific tutorial. So it's not that big of a deal. We'll see the differences between them. Don't worry, I still remember what I use on each and every one of them. Because even if it's not that distinguishable on the camera right now at this distance from the camera, in real life it's very different. And then we're gonna get ready to use a completely different thing. So one thing is for sure, for the wax one, you need to first bake this base and then apply the resin. If you get any pull-in, well, remember that I showed you a couple times how to fix that, so you don't end up with mini spoons. Alrighty, so they are all right now done. Clean my hands. Yes, and the alcohol that I'm using is it's a 70%, and I also have a 90%. It's not the regular isopropyl alcohol that you get in the stores. Just one more time. And then we can talk about it. Now, but I'm going to change the focus, obviously, so you can see better. And then I'm going to prepare another one for the final thing that I think will work good. And grab a paper towel already. So this is how the simplest things can come up different. What the heck? I had the clay under the table and I stepped in it. I need to get on all four and check what's under my table, because I have this amazing, beautiful and gorgeous white Finnegan shenanigan who does all kinds of stuff, and you know it. Okay, so get and I'm waiting for those two to get. Alrighty. Yes, please do not forget to give me likes and subscribes. Okay, so the ones that do not work, and I said I'm going to fix the focus. This doesn't work. As you can see, it's just plain gold on gold. So this was the gold to green gold Lumiere. So we scratched that. The green and teal Lumiere, not that awesome either. Unfortunately, not so good. So these are no-nos. Now, this is, and I'm telling you, if you do the bake first and then buff a little bit before applying the, let me go a little bit low. Before applying the UV resin, this looks more like it. This is the wax. So you notice how on the bottom, and it's definitely the mint sparkle, that's the good one. You can see that that's the one that works much better than anything else. So this is a good one. This is this. So I am not super excited with it. So this goes in the no pile. The duo gold green, yellow green, this seems to be doing a much better job. Unfortunately, what I'm not very happy about with it is the fact that the grain, I'm not sure, let me get even closer so you can see what I'm talking about. See how the mica grains are a little bit too big for this kind of stuff. It's not that terrific. Okay, so it's a sort of kind of like the other one. Amazingly, this is the color shift. And I am saying amazingly, yes, because you see how it changes color pretty nicely. So I am going to prepare another sample. Hopefully it's going to go faster than the other ones. And that will be the final trial on this. Just a second, let me get this through the machine. Something in there, I don't know what. Alrighty, so let's give it a spritz. And the texture. And I forgot to change the focus. Yay. Hold on, I need to. There we go. And make this a little bit brighter. Okay. So I do have a pretty good thing here. My little alrighty. So, oops, what I need, I am going to grab from the color shift. I am going to grab the black that I'm going to mix with this, and also maybe the red. And I have the green here. I'm thinking loudly, okay? I'm trying to, let's try just like this with the black and the red and see how everything turns out. Yeah, I guess we just got the excessive heat thing. Let me check. Make sure it's not something else. Yes. Heat advisory and north of me. It's until Monday. Where I am, it's until Monday. Oh well. Alrighty, so let's get back to what we were doing. So first of all, grabbing the thing that I put away so I wouldn't topple it. First, as I said, we need to do a lot of cocktails, right? Yeah, this is something I did with my sponsors yesterday. So I broke it. It's a snake skin type of cane. And they're like, what is showing up on that? As I see the whole screen, you don't see the upper left because it's my beautiful and getting even more beautiful face there. So I also grabbed the I think this is the blue flash. Yeah, the blue flash. So what I'm using now is, before I go anywhere else, black flash, raspberry flash, as I said, dragon flash, and I might put on top of it a little bit of blue flash, and of course the burnt umber. So it's going to be a thing of painting. And I tried all the other stuff, but it didn't work. That's okay. All that stuff can go in the stash, can't it? All right, so maybe need, but it's just a small quantity, so not so much. So I'm going to use some black first. Now the black has a beautiful gold style mica kind of thing. And again, I'm doing it with my paintbrush standing up, and we grab everything that might have been left on the surface. And I'm going to use just a little bit of the burnt umber because you don't want all of it to look the same, right? I'm going to stick it here. And again, grab what's not. Then I'm going to use the red. As you've seen in all those photos that I've shown you, and if you look around and all that, there are various color thingies showing, but there are no two stones the same. If other stones can be kind of sort of similar, the fire agate is one of those that is not. Okay, So I'm going to give it just a little bit of this. And again, wipe off. And I think for now I'm done with the paintbrush, and I can put it away. So to be honest, at this point I'm not even sure if you really need a gold clay, or you can use whatever. So I put a little bit of alcohol on my and I'm going to use first some red. Again, the dry technique. What did I say? Rub dry, not drop dry. Rub dry. I told you I cannot talk today. There's something wrong with me. Pain, maybe. And no, I'm not taking pain pills. Okay, and we are going to give it some red somewhere here. And then as before, the color shift, drag and flash. Again, dry rub. I said it right this time. And you can go even over some of the reds there. But as I said before, better do several passes, because we do want that beautiful green. And then I'm going to put in there a little bit of the blue flash. And again, dry rub. Why is this still open here? And give it a little bit, just a little bit, not a lot of it. Just in a couple spots. I'm taking all kinds of poetic licenses here. So this should be it. Give me just a second to clean my dirty finger. I tried to use the ring finger this time because I have to repeat probably every time I'm using powders or stuff like that, because I usually use my middle finger. I have nerve damage on my index finger, and because of that I cannot feel the tip. I mean, the damage is like the tip of my finger, exactly what I would use to do all that stuff. So I cannot really use it, hence I use the other coming fingers. But a lot of people think that I'm being rude, and I'm flipping the bird to everybody. That is not the intent. see if I got enough. So all those trials for nothing, and it happens. I think I told you guys when I did the Faux Peter site, it took about a little bit over 2.5 pounds of clay to experiment all my ideas. Okay, I think that we are good now. And you shall see what a difference it is once it is nicely resined. So as I said, at this point I'm not even sure if you do need gold, to be honest, gold clay, or if you cannot do it on any kind of clay, because as you saw, the clay is practically covered entirely. So yeah, let me get this already refocused so we don't have to want it about here. There we go. Got it refocused so we can look at it in a close-up. And we should be right there. Let's look at some more while this is getting some more fire agates. You can see there are other colors too, but see these little lines? This is why I think that the best way of doing it would be some kind of mica shifty thing. The problem is that it's hard to see in a photo, again, because it is a photo and it doesn't move. But there's a lot of chatoyancy. So as I said, I'm still working on it. Look at this beautiful dragon with fire agates. Okay, we are good to go. So let's see how it looks like. It is quite so. To remember, I did not do it like this, but what I suggest you to do, because I did not do it like this because you'd have to wait like forever. So what I suggest you to do is to apply 2 or 3 rounds of the acrylic that goes in between, and let dry the first one, and then apply the second one, then let it dry and apply the third one. The same would go for the top ones. Another thing that I did very fast, but I would suggest that you do very not slower, but pay attention to, if you want to get the proper chatoyancy, make sure that all the color you apply, you apply it in the same exact direction. Do not, it doesn't matter if you decide to go like this, if you decide to go like this, if you decide to go on a diagonal, that doesn't matter. What matters is that you apply it in the same direction, because when you'll do that, then you will get some chatoyancy. And the applying one on top of the other, you can see right here in this area how the colors change. So I think I should have done more like that, with a thin wash of a color followed by another thin wash of another color. But again, I couldn't that you wait until the first wash dries, because that's how you do it properly. But I think that this is a pretty cool effect, and you can use it in quite a bit of projects, and I hope you shall try it. And again, in daylight it looks much better. I'll probably go outside and take a short video and post it on the Kalyana Facebook page so you can see how it looks like in actual daylight. Okay, so thank you so much. Don't forget to thumbs up, and please don't forget to use my affiliate links. They are posted in the About section on my channel and also on my website, kalyanadesign.com. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I shall see you all next Sunday, God willing, and Mother Nature willing. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful what's left of the weekend. Bye.